Hello children. We know that plants and animals look so different, yet they have certain life activities in common. They are respiration, nutrition, growth, movement, response to stimuli, excretion and reproduction. These are called life processes. There are several life processes that keep them alive. So, you have already known about nutrition in plants and how they prepare food through photosynthesis. I am Sai Brahmari. Would help you to study the topic the nutrition in unicellular to multicellular animals. In this lesson, digestion part 2 of class 8 biology. Learning outcomes. After studying this chapter, you will be knowing about steps in holozoic nutrition, digestion process in amoeba, parts and function of the digestive system in cockroach, parts and function of the digestive system in humans. Keywords: nutrition, heterotrophs, holozoic nutrition, ingestion, digestion, assimilation, egestion, omniore, antennae, alimentary canal, peristalsis, gastric juice, digestive enzymes. Let's see the nutrition in animals and examples in this concept map. You are already familiar with that animals are heterotrophs. The type of nutrition found in animals is called the holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition involves 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. Animals take in food by a process called ingestion. The food that enters the animal's body should be broken into simple usable forms. This is done by a process called digestion. Food can be reduced to simple usable forms mechanically and by using certain chemicals. Mechanically, food is crushed by teeth. Chemically, food is digested with the help of digestive enzymes. Digested food is directly taken into the cytoplasm in lower animals such as amoeba. In higher animals, such as human beings, digested food is absorbed and transported to cells and tissues through the blood. This process is called absorption. Digested food is stored or utilized in the cells. This happens by a process called assimilation. The undigested food particles are eliminated from the animal body by a process called digestion. You know that there are different types of animals. Is nutrition and digestion similar in all animals? Let us find out by taking examples of amoeba, cockroach and human being. You are aware the amoeba is a unicellular organism. All life activities have to take place in the same cell. Amoeba feeds on bacteria, diatoms, unicellular algae, minute protozoa and even dead organic matter. Hence, it is an omnivore. How does an amoeba move? Can the same locomotory structures be used to take the food into its cell? Yes, the pseudopodium is surrounding the prey and ingesting it. Should a live prey not be killed before being ingested? If yes, the pseudopodia should contain special substances to perform this task. The ingested prey enters the food vacuole where digestion takes place. Digestive enzymes such as amylase and protease are secreted in the food vacuole. Amylase digests complex carbohydrates into simple sugars. Protease digests proteins to its simplest forms. Digested food is diffused into the cytoplasm from the food vacuole. The cytoplasm is circulated throughout the cell so that all parts of the cell receive nutrients. Digested food is used for all its life activities. Undigested food is digested with the help of pseudopodia. Let us see another example of an omnivore like amoeba. Raju's graph sheets are eaten away by cockroaches. His mother is worried as tomatoes are drilled and eaten by cockroaches. He wonders that how a cockroach can eat and digest anything. In order to find the solution to his curiosity, he collects a few cockroaches and places them in a transparent plastic box. He places varieties of materials like rubber, pencil piece, pieces of paper, coconut pieces, pieces of cloth and green chilies. Cockroach feeds on almost everything. So, have you guessed which is another example of omnivore? Yes, it is the cockroach. Observe the external features of a cockroach using a magnifying lens. You can identify three main regions called the head, thorax and abdomen. Observe a pair of feelers in the head region. These are also called antennae. Antennae sense the food and may push the food into the mouth. Food is crushed in the mouth. Do you know which mouth parts of the cockroach help in crushing the food? A pair of appendages called mandibles are found in the cockroach's mouth. The function of mandibles is to grasp, crush or cut food. Now you will learn about the parts of the digestive system of cockroach and their functions here. What was the need for water to be reabsorbed from the feces in the hind gut of cockroach? This is because it excretes uric acid in the form of hard pellets of feces. Let us now learn how the digestion process occurs in human alimentary canal. The human digestive system is much more complex than the digestive system of a cockroach. Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is also called the digestive tract. It is the pathway by which food enters the body and solid wastes are expelled. The alimentary canal includes the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine and anus. The ingested food is subjected to mechanical breakdown in mouth. Food is chewed and churned with the help of teeth and tongue. Saliva makes food into a soft paste called a bolus. Saliva contains salivary amylase which converts starch into maltose. An adult human being secretes about 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva per day. Bolus, when swallowed, enters the pharynx. Pharynx is the common passage for both food and air. What may happen if there is an accidental entry of food into the windpipe? Sometimes it is possible for food particles to enter the windpipe and then into the lungs. The food that entered the trachea is mostly cleared, but the entry of food into the lungs can lead to infection. Bolus enters the food pipe, which is also called the esophagus. A tissue called epiglottis prevents bolus from entering into the windpipe. The bolus passes through the esophagus and reaches the stomach. This happens by the rhythmic contraction of the muscles that make the esophagus. It takes around 7 to 9 seconds for the bolus to reach the stomach. The esophagus is a narrow muscular tube of length 20 to 30 centimeters. Why the esophagus has no role in digestion? This is because the esophagus acts only as a passageway or an organ for the conduction of food, and hence no digestion occurs here. Bolus, which enters the stomach, is stored for some time. The stomach secretes gastric juice, which contains hydrochloric acid. This hydrochloric acid commonly kills the microbes that may have entered through food and water. What may happen if too much acid is secreted? It may lead to formation of peptic ulcer. Is there any other use of the acid secretion? It helps in the process of chemical digestion. Digestive enzymes such as pepsin and renin are also secreted in the stomach. Pepsin converts proteins into polypeptides. Renin converts soluble milk proteins into insoluble curds. At this stage, the bolus in the stomach turns into a semi-liquid state called chyme. Chyme enters the small intestine where digestion continues further. Bile juice, pancreatic juice, and intestinal juice act upon chyme and digest it further. Bile juice is produced by the liver and is stored in the gallbladder. Pancreatic juice is produced in the pancreas whereas intestinal juice is produced in the intestine. Bile juice emulsifies fats. Pancreatic juice contains protease, amylase and lipase enzymes. Amylase converts starch into maltose, whereas lipase converts complex fats into simple fats. Intestinal juice contains maltase, sucrase, lactase, peptidase and lipase. Maltase converts maltose to glucose. Sucrase converts sucrose to glucose. Lactase converts lactose to glucose and peptidase converts polypeptides to amino acids. Digested food is absorbed by the finger-like projections of the small intestine called villi. This digested food is circulated to all parts of the body with the help of the circulatory system. Undigested food is passed on the to the large intestine. There is reabsorption of water from the feces in the large intestine. Feces is eliminated through the anus. Points to remember: the animals are heterotrophs and the type of nutrition found in animals is called the Holozoic. Holozoic nutrition involves 5 steps called ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Amoeba is an omnivore that feeds on bacteria, diatoms, unicellular algae, minute protozoa and dead organic matter. The body of a cockroach contains 3 main regions called the head, thorax and abdomen. The structures called antennae sense the food and push the food into the mouth. The human digestive system is much more complex than the digestive system of a cockroach. The digestive tract or the alimentary canal in humans includes the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine and anus.